drum clinic. All right, cool. But Bart, I've gotten to know Bart over the past year or so, and he's truly a Renaissance man. He's a touring drummer, a session drummer. He's a teacher and an author and a columnist. Originally out of Colorado, and he ultimately proved himself out there as a professional and an artist, and toured with a metal band called War Crime, which it's got to be a great metal band with that name. Anyway, he moved on from there. The band was very popular in Europe, and ultimately he made his way to the southern rock band, the Sam Morrison Band, which he currently plays with right now. There was a great article. He's a columnist for Classic Drummer, and I saw a great issue of that that had all of these great classic drummers. It had Bart in there. It was really cool to see him. And he also, his instructional DVD, The School of Hard Rocks, for Center Stream Publishing. Make sure you pick that up. So this is going to be a great event. It'll be a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, without me anymore, Mr. Bart Robley.
Thanks, Joe. Awesome, man, what a great introduction.
Now you have to live up to that.
Exactly, I got to live up to that, and that even impressed me. A Tekken tune. The idea came about back in January at the NAMM show. The people at Gretsch came to me and said, hey, what do you think about this idea of doing a Tekken tune clinic? You know, it's something that's kind of overlooked sometimes. And I thought, you know what, man, totally right. There's so many times that tuning your drums is completely overlooked. A lot of times when we learn how to play the drums, you come in, you take a drum lesson, and when you take a drum lesson, you do it on a drum set that has, you know, a lot of times they have sound-off pads on the heads. Sometimes, like in my case, up in my studio, I have 2 drum sets. Both of them have mesh heads on them. So, you know, you're not really concerned with how good the mesh heads sound. And of course, we all teach and work on practice pads and stuff like that. So, you know, we don't really think a lot about tuning the drums and getting them sounding really good. And it's unfortunate because I think if you come in and you take, you know, a guitar lesson, a bass lesson, woodwinds, whatever, the first thing you do is you tune the instrument, right? You get it sounding good. So that's what I want to do here today. Each one of these instruments has a different way of tuning it, a different way of going about getting it to sound good, and we want a different sound out of each one of them. But the one thing that's common to all of them is we want to seat the heads. Common mistake is when you're tuning the drum, they go around in a circle like this. So it'll start. And by the time you get over here, now the head's all tweaked over to the side. So what you want to do is you always want to seat the head. And all that is we pull the head evenly down onto the drum. I'm going to start on the clear head on the bottom. I use what's called an Aquarian Classic clear on the bottom. You can hear that they're completely untuned. And when I seat the head, I know you guys can't see this, but what I'm going to do is I just push on the center of the head like this. And you can see that when I do that, it gets a lot of wrinkles in the head. And I go across the drum, and the pattern, if you guys can see it, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And usually what I do is I start by just turning all the tension rods down to where they meet the hoop and stop. Then I press on the center of the head like I showed you guys, getting the wrinkles in the head. I go to number 1. On this one, I start on the batter head. There's 10 lugs on this drum, so same thing across the drum, seating the head. I do the same thing. I press on the center of the drum. After I take the tension rods down to the claws and they stop by hand. And on this one, just a little bit. Now, again, every snare drum is different, but this drum, now I've got the top head and the bottom head kind of started to tune in, and I'm just pulling the bottom head up tight, and I'm going about a full turn every single time. So when you're sitting behind the drums is really when it kind of, you know, when the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, and you're like, okay, yeah, I need to tweak this in a little bit. But right here, I can get it real close. When it comes to your performance, your gig, your set, if you have the time to mess with the backline kit, you want to get it right for you. Again, with the racks here, you know, I have all my stuff in place. So now I can play a rhythm, but I have all my, you know, everything's right here. My ride cymbal's right here. My hi-hat's right here. A lot of times, I play with one tom-tom up top. I have, for the sake of time today, I have one floor tom. Usually I'll use 2. But with my ride cymbal, you know, it's right here. It's right in front of me. It's not way over here. It's not up here. It's not way off to the side. It's right in front of me. So when I play a rhythm on my ride cymbal, you know, I'm real comfortable. I can just play, it's right there. Same thing with my hi-hat. You know, it's real comfortable. I don't have to reach for something. It's just right there. Actually, you know what? I forgot one very crucial piece of equipment. Kind of embarrassed, I should have done this before. That's this guy right here, Bart Simpson. He, pretty much everywhere I go, I have Bart mounted right there on the front of the drum set. I think it's really important that a grown man have a cartoon character of some sort that he looks up to, and I'm you know, between Bart Simpson and Bugs Bunny, you know, life is good. Now, with the Sam Morrison Band, I'm really fortunate. We play every kind of gig, man. Sometimes we're the headliner, right? I set up my drums, and I don't think about them again until I play them, and then I'm packing them up and putting them away. So their life is good, and it's pretty easy. Sometimes we're the opening band. Sometimes we are one of 3 or 4 bands. And in that case, like I said, myself and Justin Novotny is his name. God bless and all praise Justin Novotny. We can have this drum set either on or off stage real fast. Also, the 2 small racks work great because they don't take up a lot of real estate. They're small, right? They're little. And so these racks work perfect, man. I put everything together, put them up against the wall. They're nobody's way, on and off stage real fast. They're great. I love them.